right, everyone. Welcome to Masculine Geek number 260. Hard to believe, actually. 5 years. This is the Fireside Chats. This is some random geekery. This is an impromptu Fireside Chat because originally this was going to be Rollo's AD&D campaign, but that's going to have to be rescheduled due to unforeseen circumstances. So, cheers to everyone who is watching now and will be watching later. We thank you for being here. So how's everyone doing? Robert, AJ?
Tired.
Living the dream.
Tired, yeah. It's the middle of the week is weird.
Well, I had another repeat of last Wednesday with the whole spending time in medical facilities today for someone. So,
okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
that'll do it. That'll tire you out.
Yeah, definitely.
To the chat. Mictibus, Chris, how are you? Yeah, we were gonna, like I said, we're gonna play D&D, but as you can see, and then there were 3.
Yeah, Chris was talking about painting. I've been jonesing to paint some more too because I've got several more BattleTech miniatures to paint on top of.
Why don't we set up a painting session soon on a Friday?
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I got one of my coworkers. He's got a 3D printer. He's gonna make me. I'm gonna ask him to make me a both Horse Heresy Lionel Johnson and a current 42K Lionel
cool.
Johnson.
Nice. Have to make you your character for D&D.
Yeah, try to do that too.
Yeah. Now, would you get into painting as well with the miniatures?
If he prints them out for me, I would probably try to paint them myself. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I mess up the paint, get some acetone out, and redo it.
You redo it. You just buy a bunch of them.
Yeah,
I would say. No, good.
Go ahead, Vincent. No, I was going to say he can get a bunch of cheap plastic ones from like Reaper Minis. From
and just practice
and stuff like that, and
practice on the
inexpensive stuff.
Yeah, practice on something larger, like the larger monsters that are about 3 or 4 inches tall.
Yeah,
so there's
that's why I was looking at like starting off with like a Primark, but yeah, they're expensive pieces of plastic, and then I got a coworker with a 3D printer. He can just take their dimensions and make it himself for me.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you do anything more gaming wise other than 40K?
Actually, I don't even play 40K. I just like the lore of it.
Oh, okay.
And like I like the Dark Angels a lot. So,
well, it's kind of hard not to like the lore of 40K because I mean it's been stolen from some of the best sci-fi and fantasy series ever written. So I mean, you know.
Nice.
So,
and like on my computer, I play the Total War Warhammer. Granted, that's fantasy and not 40K.
Mm-hmm. I actually know a couple of guys that prefer the fantasy Warhammer.
I played the fantasy Warhammer. Mm-hmm. It's a little too realistic.
Is it?
Yep. Oh yeah, there's you start out as like a basic artisan or a blacksmith or like a baker that wants to go adventuring.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like a base career, and then you have these other career slots that you use. And then there's critical hit tables that are just devastating. I don't know how many characters I went through.
Of it.
The tabletop game to me is just worthless. You have a question there, AJ, from Mictibus.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Yes. That is a Ibanez SR305E. I play from time to time.
Cool. Yeah. Why don't you introduce yourself, AJ?
All right. So I was on the last Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Rolo. Thanks to Vince inviting me, and thank you for tonight keeping this on. I own the Armed Details channel where I do a live stream every once in a while. I haven't gotten it fully set in stone, but usually on my Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays off because I'm on a 2-2-3 schedule. So it's like every other week I have those days off. I do a live stream talking about product reviews of stuff that I use for detailing that I buy, or other guys in the men's self-help community. I'll buy their program or their books, or hell, they'll even give it to me to review it for them. So I do live streams on that. I sit the Dragon Ship, which is like kind of like the JV version of Rule Zero, on every Saturday. So it's kind of my gig.
Is that Red Pill Thor I see on a book behind you?
Yes, and shout out to him.
How's he doing?
He's at home. He's doing well. Actually, he did a 5-minute video today, giving us update on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should hear more back. I think Friday or next Friday. He said about it, but they removed the tumor. And then what else? Oh yeah, he's sending out Mine and Nuke's patches because we're now officially Drakars.
Oh, awesome! Congrats.
Nice, very cool.
So.
Now you do detailing for both cars and motorcycles, correct?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of difference between the two. Paint is paint on vehicles. So like you use the proper chemical, proper pressure, proper pad. Like it's kind of like a best way to describe it is it's where art and chemistry and physics all meet together in a weird way.
I have a question then. So, the pipes on my Vulcan, I got a chip in the matte paint. I mean, obviously underneath is chrome. 2 chips, maybe the size of half of a dime. Not very big, but I don't want them to get any larger. What would I do?
Probably your best bet, honestly, would be either get them recoated with whatever coatings on there. I have a feeling it's probably a Cerakote, which is just a very thick. It's like a combination of ceramic coat but mixed with powder coating. So it's powder coat with SiO2 in it, and it takes the heat very well. If you don't want to wait to do that, or you don't want to price that out, best thing to do is actually kind of lightly feather it in. If that makes any sense.
No.
So you got that big, I
get the idea of feathering, but
you got a ledge there. So best way, if that ledge is still there, you're gonna just sit there in the road grime and stuff, and the elements are just gonna start chipping at it. Whereas you feather it, you're gonna smooth it out so that you don't have that abrasive edge that's getting caught and everything.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
So, or you just wax several.
We had several guys who took their various either clone trooper armor or TIE pilot helmets to an auto painter to basically put a in the case of the TIE pilot helmets, a real nice high gloss black coat of paint that just that not only had this super nice finish to it, and then a little bit of detailing depending on whether the pilot had widow's tears or kill marks or anything like that on their helmets. But it also, depending on which helmet you had, whether it was an ABS plastic or some other type of plastic or even a resin, that coat of paint was so thick and so like rock hard that it gave it an extra layer of protection. And then in like the case of like the clone trooper armors and stuff like that, depending on whether they had what kind of trooper they were, they may have had like white ABS plastic that got painted black with gray trim to be a specific unit of clone troopers, or they had the base white armor that they had painted in blue to be a 501st clone trooper or whatever unit designation they wanted, so that it had the real nice look to it, as well as whether
gloss, wet look.
And depending on whether they were like a fresh troop with unmarred armor, or if they wanted someone who was a real artist to do the wear marks just so that it looked like this guy's fought in like battles 30 different planets in the Empire and stuff like that. So any guys that were friends with auto detailers or were actually guys like you who did the work themselves were very popular within various garrisons of the 501st, at least back in my time with them.
Well, like with the new coatings, especially like ceramic's been around for a little bit, but like graphene's fairly new, and then borene's the new one that's coming on the market. Like those right there are very good protective coatings that are very hard and give you a high gloss finishes at the same time. Like we're talking like 9-10H hardness scale.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Like, get them painted up and then you coat them in that. They're not going to get scratched anytime soon.
Yeah.
That's cool. Free to play our D&D music anyway.
Was that you that was playing it last time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually official D&D music. It's it's from a CD. CD's nuts. It's from a CD from the Red Steel boxed set from the early 90s of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, second edition, I do believe. So, yeah.
Gonna say the Zoomers are gonna be like, "What's a CD?"
That reminds me. I just got.
Well, you're gonna have to tune in next week because, we're doing a analog show, and I'll be showing off my Walkman from the '80s. Actually, I have several, and I have a tape recorder. Those handheld tape recorders that and a cassette tape. I'll probably live on the show record and then play it back just for effect.
Yeah.
And play one of my CDs over the Walkman.
Vince and I had already talked about this before, but the Dark Eye game, Das Schwarze Auge in Germany, they release regularly with various expansions of the game or various regions new CDs of like music for those various kingdoms, and this is one of the more recent ones I just got, which is for the Kingdom of Thorwall, which are basically
cool.
the Viking peoples. So this is fairly recent, and it was a part of one of their Kickstarters, which I got some. Unfortunately, I meant to do the Kickstarter and I didn't. The timing wasn't right for it, and by the time it's like, I need to commit to that, it was already too late. And then there are several others I've got, and I'm actually an acquaintance of this composer and have done a couple of things with him, narrative wise. And he and I actually were talking about doing an album together with me doing narration and singing lyrics to some of his.
Word?
Some of it, yes, and some of it actually just flat out singing. Because
that's cool.
Yeah,
you got some pipes.
Some. I'm very untrained, but I have a fairly decent voice, and I can do some decent stuff with it, despite the lack of training.
Yeah,
but I'm not a rock star like Rollo is. So
we
can all have that level. Yeah.
No. I mean, that's legitimately, fun. He was on a Nia Peebles show, Soul Train type show, dance show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was playing lead or rhythm guitar for some band that played on the show. So he's
he's a session guy.
Yeah, so he's legit, and he played, I guess, the LA scene back in the late '80s metal. So
cool.
Yep.
I didn't realize he was doing that stuff. Like, I knew he played it back in the 80s and 90s, and now he's doing the stuff with his current band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of commitments, but sometimes you have to,
I get it.
Don't make promises you can't always keep, Game Master.
You have to honor some of those commitments.
Yeah, yes. It's one thing when a player bails on a game, but it's another when the DM does. So that's like,
how can we continue without the Dungeon Master?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Vince and I have talked about maybe having some kind of backup thing, like, okay, Rollo bailed on the game or Drew bailed on the game. It's like, all right, guys, we're doing Star Frontiers. Here's what we're doing, and then away we go. And it just so that we still get to play, and the guys that actually come here to watch this game still get a game, even if it's not necessarily the one that they were coming for. But
I can game referee a Star Frontiers game because I used to do that in the 80s. I had the original box set. What I can do is we can have a behind the scenes. We can set up characters, and I can explain for anyone who wants to play who's never played before. I can explain the game. You can just download the PDF rules for like $5. It's basically Star Frontiers. AJ basically is D&D in space. Essentially, the same concept.
Although the rules are different.
The rules
Gamma World is a lot closer to D&D rules than Star Frontiers is.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as just just general feel. It's like a D&D game in space. Just
so it's D&D meets StarCraft.
Yeah, kind of. There's different races, obviously, but the concept of role playing is the same. That doesn't change. It doesn't, whether the science fiction or apocalyptic or fantasy or what have you.
Yeah.
So, but
it's actually a really fun game.
It is. I played for a while. Oscar Rios. He does stuff for. What's the game company that he does for? It's related to Call of Cthulhu. What does he work for? Something Press. Anyway, he was gaming. We were doing online games with him for a while, and he was refereeing. That was fun. That was a load of fun. And then we had some scheduling conflicts. It's always a scheduling conflict.
Yeah.
So, but we can always do that. Get characters ready. Get the background set up, so when this does happen, we can just segue right into our Plan B Star Frontiers game.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I'll do that, because it's been a while since I've gamed online as far as like doing one of these. I mean, I D&D a game around the tabletop. And I've been DMing since 1983, so it's very easy to do. So. To refamiliarize myself with the Star Frontiers rules, come up with a few scenarios, and away we go.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea, Robert. I think we'll do that.
That'd be interesting.
Maybe. Yeah, I think you'd like it.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, so what do you guys got going on for the weekend? Anything cool?
This weekend, I need to edit the video and upload it for doing the motorcycle detail. So I know Glenn's been harping on me, but stuff going on with the car. Like I had to send my clutch back to Georgia to get warranty.
Oh, that's right. What's the progress on that?
It got there Tuesday. The clutch got there Tuesday. I haven't heard back from DKM, who's the manufacturer of the clutch. But, so that's been holding me off on that, and then switching over to day shift, kind of getting my body used to that again.
Okay.
So I'll be.
How long were you doing night shift for?
I did 5 months on this stint.
Okay.
My last data center that I worked in, because I work in the data center industry as a CF ops technician. So I do the heating, cooling, diesel generators, and the electrical systems for the whole entire facility. The last one I worked at, I did 22 months straight on nights before I left them for my current company.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, kind of a nights guy.
Gotcha. All right, so you're back on days.
Yesterday's my first day. I'm like, oops, sorry. I prefer nights, to be honest with you. Like, yesterday's my first day back on days to make up my hours, and I'm just like, I want to go back to nights already.
Yeah, nights are nice. Less people.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's technically more responsibility, but it's actually less work.
Nothing wrong with that. Less work, less people, more time to work on the projects you want to work on.
And granted, this company gives both. Once you're on shift, so you're doing the 2-2-3 12-hour shifts. On day shift, you get a 5% differential, but nights you get a 12.
Oh, that's significant.
Yeah, like without giving figures, it's about a $3 an hour difference between days and nights.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, when I was younger, I used to work for a lumber yard, and I worked the 11 at night till 7 in the morning on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday I had off, mainly to sleep, and then Thursday and Friday I worked 7 in the morning until about 6, 7 at night. No, oh my god!
Oh my god!
I hated that. My body was all kinds of screwed up. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. It was an interesting experience for a 19-year-old. But I ran the delivery department for Heckinger for a while.
It's like when I was in the Navy, my third school, Prototype, which is actually the school that you operate the live nuclear reactors. We do a week of day shift and then a week of swing shift, a week of nights, and then a week of days but not operating. We'd be actually like in the training facility doing all our checkouts and stuff.
Yeah.
But you'd have like 2 days off in between 1.5 days off in between one shift change, and then like 4 days off in between nights and tea week, as we would call it.
Now, is that contrived? Do they do that on purpose to toughen you up?
It's getting used to, because nukes don't go to sub school, so it's like kind of getting us ready for submarine life, even though carriers are still nuclear powered. Because like back in the day, my last ship actually was on was prototyping the new schedule for submarines, but before that, it was still a 24-hour day, but you were on a 18-hour rotation. So you do like 6 hours of watch, 6 hours off watch of like maintenance, cleaning, or free time, and then 6 hours of sleep, and then you go back on watch.
Yeah.
Then my ship tested out was it my last run? Yeah, it was my last run. Where, because it's 3 sections, so section 1 worked stood watch 6 a.m. to noon. Section 2 stood noon to 6 p.m. Then section 1 came back on 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Section 2 came back on 9 p.m. to midnight, and then section 3 was just mid-watch. And everyone actually loved it.
Oh, okay.
So, like, guys who were section 3, yeah, they were mid-watch, but because they were mid-watch, they only stood those 6 hours, whereas sections 1 and 2, yeah, they had 9 hours, but they had either 3 hours in between watches or 6 hours in between their watch.
Yeah. That's very grueling. Very taxing on the body, that's for sure.
No natural sunlight for months on end.
Yeah, I would imagine so, yeah. The longest shift I ever worked for a job was 18 hours just at once. So I'm a bit of a wimp in that regard.
The closest I've done in civilian life was my last job in the Seattle area, which I talked to you when I did my interview with you, working on the trains.
Yeah.
We had this one issue. So that shift was 10 p.m. to whenever we got off, usually around 7:30 in the morning because it was salary. So I get in there like 9:30, 9:45, start the shift. We had to change out 480 cables on a couple trains, and then something else was going on. I didn't get out of there till 2 p.m.
Oh, damn.
The next day, and then I had to be back at 10 p.m. that night. So I literally got home at 4 p.m., slept until 8 p.m., got up, showered, made dinner, and hauled
went
ass
back
to
out.
work.
Oh, damn.
That was a fun one.
It's a pain in the ass.
I've worked over 24 hours. I think once over almost 48 hours. But it was construction and some other stuff, which part of that was standing around because we were we had an empty fuel tank in a hole and a rainstorm that came in, and so we're trying to keep the tank from floating, so we're having to basically pump water out of a hole all night long for somebody else. I mean, it wasn't like our thing that we screwed up on. It was somebody else's screw up that we had to save the day on. So that was a part of it. At the end of what was a long day became an overnight thing, and then some more stuff during the day. And then it was a very long drive home from like Franklin, Indiana, back up to Indianapolis. And then like going to bed and sleeping. It was pretty rough. Not like working on a crab boat in the North Atlantic, in the Bering
Pacific
Sea or something like that. But
how far
still,
from Beach Grove are you?
20 at the moment, about 20 minutes, but most of my life probably 10-15 minutes away from Beach Grove.
That's the Amtrak mothball yard.
Yeah.
The company I worked for it's called Talgo. It's a Spanish acronym. They built they built the Series 6 trains and brought them over from Spain to the U.S. and then they made a huge deal, got a plant in Milwaukee. Oregon bought 2 of these Series 8 trains. Well, Wisconsin backed out of the deal, so Talgo ended up storing them in Beach Grove.
Oh, okay.
To be ready. But that was actually because the guy who was the CEO of Talgo Inc., the American subsidiary, he was a genius because he was a business lawyer. When Wisconsin pulled out of the deal, Talgo got to keep the two trains, got to keep the money paid for the 2 trains, and won $10 million extra in litigation as long as they didn't sell the trains before August of 2016. So they bamboozled Wisconsin out of a crap ton of money.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. If you want something done poorly, you have government do it. I mean, that's government and boondoggle kind of go together perfectly, sadly.
I think it was like a total of almost $100 million Talgo ran away with.
Yes. So there you go, taxpayers of Wisconsin. You get the government you vote for. And
then they sold him to Oregon right as I was getting ready to leave because ODOT wanted the other 2, turn them into actually 3. So they were going to split the 2 they already owned, split the 2 that Wisconsin bought, and then make them into like 3 makeshift trains. They sold them to Oregon at discounted rate, and so they made even more money.
Way to do it. Yeah, we were just talking about trains in particular.
Oh, cool. Trains are awesome.
And the state of Wisconsin spending money on trains that they never
don't
owned.
even use, and then got sold to the state of Oregon at discount rate.
God. Oh my God.
That's like here. The city of Indianapolis, in its infinite wisdom, decided to tear up parts of the roads to have a dedicated bus lane for these electric buses that not only don't work in the cold, but even when it's warm, the batteries don't hold charges to run all that long or efficiently. And it's not like this was surprise knowledge, because I guess they have these buses in either Arizona or New Mexico or somewhere like that in the American Southwest, which doesn't get cold weather like we do here, at least not generally. Up in the mountains and whatever, it's a little different, but at any rate, but still they did that. And even though it like tore up businesses, or in doing road construction, businesses closed up that have never reopened because they had no parking. They lost all their street parking. Customers couldn't even get to their businesses because of the roads being closed. And it just, government.
Batteries like to be at certain temperatures because, like, Friday night into Saturday morning, I rode my motorcycle into work, and we had a cold front come in. I couldn't start my bike. I had to take an Uber home. Luckily, one of my plates actually gave me a ride to work Saturday night. I brought my extension cord and my tender with me to recharge the battery and keep it warm overnight because it was even colder Sunday morning. Like, I think it was like 28 when I left work Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And now today was a beautiful 80 degrees.
We'd had a cold snap a few weeks ago, and I had parked my car probably at about 11:30 a.m. after going out to grab something for lunch. And sometime after midnight when I was driving home from work, because it had been so cold, it was a little sluggish starting, and it's a brand new battery, and it was still a little sluggish starting. So it started right up, but instead of an instantaneous, it had that, and then it went. So
yeah, with the battery tender on there after a full night of charge, it started right up, even though it was cold, because that charge was keeping it warm.
Yeah.
And like because we use uninterruptible power supplies for the servers. Like, that's how we filter their power. Like, we worked with Schneider, who's the manufacturer of them, to figure out the proper temperature in our space. 77 degrees, optimal temperature for all those UPS batteries. Guaranteed under 1 meg of full load, we'll get about 9 minutes 30 seconds to 10 minutes 30 seconds before they deplete.
Gotcha.
You have a backup generator, like a huge backup generator for the building?
Yeah, we have 15 2.25 megawatt generators. The next building over has got, I think, 24 35 meg generators. That building's overkill, but it's going to be for some crazy stuff going in that one.
And where I work, we have 2 diesel tanks that are the size of semi-trailers. And when Hurricane Sandy hit and our building went down, almost 3 days, we almost depleted that entire diesel fuel. But we were on generator power for 2.5 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
The ice storm of 21 down here, because I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That was the first data center I worked at. I think we had 2 separate loadouts of 28,000 gallons of. So yeah, it was like over almost 60,000 gallons of diesel we had to reorder after that because we were running 19 2.5 megawatt generators for I think 5 days straight. We ended up getting credited $400,000 from Encore because we were backfeeding that much.
Wow.
Usually our winter bill is 400,000, so like a month. The summertime bill is like 600,000.
Wow. That's no joke.
So are you able to use? Oh, go on ahead.
No, go on ahead. Because that facility on average was 19 to 23 megawatt per hour. What we're consuming. My current one's like 5.
Wow. So have you been able to use any of the stuff you learned in the Navy in the civilian world?
Yeah, that's half the people I work with are former Navy nukes.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
My manager and I were on sister ships at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So.
Cool. Are you drinking antifreeze?
It's the Mio lime.
It's what?
Actually, it's the Mio energy lime.
Oh, okay.
Flavor.
Gotcha.
Actually reminds me of
Ecto
up in Bremerton, Washington. Yeah, up in Bremerton, Washington, there's a bar that's actually pretty much submarine themed called the Horse and Cow. And they were mixing their own drink for a while called Nuke Waste. Now they're getting it distilled. But it was the way to make it at home, and the way that they were mixing it was 2 parts Midori, 2 parts vodka, 1 part sour mix. And it tastes like lemon, lime, and melon Kool-Aids mixed together with a punch.
That's awesome.
Like, gonna kick you in the balls.
I like
dangerous.
I was saying, I thought he was drinking absinthe over ice.
No, it's not that bright. You're going to get very muted green color with absinthe, and then it's going to turn milky when it louses up with the water.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gotcha.
You drink if he was drinking that much absinthe straight.
Oh wow, man, I'd be gone.
He would be on the. He wouldn't even be in the camera angle right now.
I'd be like,
hope your floor is soft.
I have the NVIDIA broadcast feeding my OBS, and I'm feeding OBS into StreamYard, so my camera using the NVIDIA broadcast actually follows me.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, and you were talking about that last time we talked. Well, follow you right down to the floor.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
It does look like absinthe without the water ritual.
Yeah.
Yep. It's cool. Or Ecto Cooler. There was a local pub and brewery by me that made an adult version of Ecto Cooler. Ghostbusters back in the 80s. The high C fruit punch.
Yeah.
I missed that.
It was so good. They only brought it out in Halloween time. Yeah. I'm sure there's a recipe floating around online, but it wasn't the same.
I'm sure there's somewhere on Mixology.
Absolutely. Oh, man. Yeah, so next week we've got our analog show. Now, Rollo did say he could play the first week in March, but we do have Drew's game scheduled the first week, Wednesday in March.
Right. So which we haven't played that in how many months now?
Going on at least 2.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep that.
Character?
I know, right? If you want to play in Drew's game too, I'm sure he'd have you.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a Viking themed game, so.
And I have no problem with that. Yeah, it's homebrew. It's all. There's nothing commercial about it as far as like using a pre-made module and fixing it up for himself. He does straight out. He created the world himself and creates and creates the scenarios. He has a general outline, but he also riffs off whatever we do.
Yeah. So right now we're fighting demonic werewolf hellspawn thing in underneath Jorvik.
Yeah, we could use the help actually.
Yes, definitely.
So if you want to play, I'll throw you on that thread as well.
Hell, I'll do it. Give me something to do.
All right, cool. I'll get you on that thread tomorrow.
As long as Mr. Drew is okay with it.
I'm sure he'll be fine. Yeah, he'll be okay with it. Yeah.
Because aren't we losing someone again?
I know Jesse had talked about having to bail for some personal reasons, but he's still playing Rawl's game.
Mm-hmm.
Noble had his wedding.
Yes.
So he couldn't make that game. Trying to think of anyone else. We still have what's his face? Noble's friend. I'm forgetting his name at the moment, but he plays in Drew's game.
Mm-hmm.
With his son.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're losing anyone else in that game, but we could always use one more.
Yeah, at least a fighter, maybe a fighter thief. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I play a magic. I play a magic user. His name is Ulfr, 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 and we're all either 8th or 9th level. I have to take a look at my sheet.
Yeah, and I play a. Let's see. I wonder if I can
go back and watch all those now.
Well, it'll be easy for you because I separated the playlist for you.
Sweet. It's like,
yep, they're
I was telling you, I was like
Drew.
driving, listening to it. I'm like,
you're switching to another one, yeah.
Go back to.
Yep. Yeah, no, yeah, I created. I have the original playlist, and I also have the separated playlist out between Drew's and Rawl's game. So,
yeah,
they're good.
Vince plays a mage. I play a cleric. So,
yeah, it's fun.
I liked how when I was watching the original streams when you jumped in on the Rolo one, how you just took over Blodgett just like that. I'm like perfect. Like I think it suits like based on the personality I've seen of you. I mean, this is only our second time interacting, but like watching that whole entire 47 episodes until I came in, I'm like, man, he actually is that character.
Oh yeah, Robert's Blodgett now.
Yeah. I mean, I actually rolled up a different character to be a rogue and everything else. And so I had a totally different character. But then Rollo asked, would you just do this instead? And I'm like, yeah, fine. I just rolled with it. So
it worked nicely.
Like even when like Blodgett's like doing the whole like when you're in role play and you're like doing the dialogue, it's like the voice, like everything, personality, like everything like matches, I think.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I have some experience gaming and like, otherwise. But,
it helps to have played before.
Yeah.
And then, like Vince and Grot work out very well, I think.
Yeah, French fried potatoes.
Yeah.
Grat. What fuck? Grat like ale and cheese. Grat say, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Was it? You said petroleum body odor.
Right.
Yeah.
Grat smell sometime. Something happened. It happened to fighters that don't care about bathing. Grat bathe at least once a month. When last time it rained? That when Grat had bath.
Yeah.
Well, you just got one in the splooge too.
I did come in the literally come in the cum.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not sure how we're gonna get across that. I mean,
I got across it.
No, we didn't get all the way across. I don't think.
Yeah, we did. We're on the other side of it.
Oh, we are.
Okay. We swam through it.
I didn't think I did.
Blodgett got shocked to shit going through the firewall.
Oh, that's right.
I took a little hit, and then Ryan's character Q just drunken. Nothing happens to him. It's like, what the fuck?
Right? Yeah, he's funny. It's a fun addition to the group, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
he's hard to read as a person, though, in my opinion.
He might like it that way.
Yeah.
We had him on the show as a guest probably 2 or 3 years ago, and he's been on. He may have come on on it like a randomly once,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't really interacted with him too much outside the D&D games, and he seems cool to me.
No, I like his content that he makes. Like it actually helped me get through a lot of my stuff in my my last relationship.
That's cool.
Like leading up to the finding myself in the 10 months that I stayed, that I should have actually dropped her. Getting the books, figuring out what to do, and then the learning the outcome independence helped out tremendously. But it's like,
okay.
There's something about his persona is like, I don't want to piss him off for some reason.
Now this is the Icewind Dale theme that I'm playing now. Background.
I like it.
It's very epic, yeah.
Sounds like it belongs in especially I'd say Final Fantasy 12. Sounds like it belongs in that one.
I know, right? Well, he's a professional music guy, Jeremy Soule, Soule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That put the soundtrack together. It's very good. Yeah, it's probably one of the few early 2000s games that I do play. I think I still have the install CD. Yeah, I saw the box. Got that. Dark Corners of the Earth, which is a Call of Cthulhu game, and Neverwinter Nights Platinum Edition and the original box set. I love Neverwinter Nights. Yep. Love that. So much fun. Side quests in Neverwinter Nights are fun to do. There's this snow globe that you find in the forest that you get sucked into.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this little world, a little quest you have to do in order to get out. It's kind of neat.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Kingdom Hearts. When you play Winnie the Pooh, you get sucked into his book.
Oh, okay, yeah.
World. Yeah, because it's Square Enix meets Disney. Literally,
right.
You're in a party with a Square Enix looking character, so Final Fantasy looking character is the main character, but your other party members is Donald and Goofy.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
Super fun. Actually.
Sounds like it.
I seem to remember a couple of my sons playing that back when it was relatively new. The one that's in his 20s now.
Oh, I'm still playing it. I'm in my 30s.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You're only a few years older than the one that was playing it that I remember, so.
You rural bastards.
I think I told you. I don't know if it was when we were getting ready to do AD&D or when we were doing my show. I told you, yeah, maybe an 80s baby, but I was only born in the last 4 months.
How old are you?
34.
Okay. Yeah, you're young. It's all right.
Yeah, I've got sons older than you.
Jesus, you could be his dad. I mean, you're not, but you could.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad's only, let's see, trying to do the math in my head. He'll be 58 this year.
Yeah, he's a couple years
older. Robert could almost beat up your dad.
No, I don't know about that.
That's an old Woody Allen joke.
Yeah.
From the movie Manhattan, when he's dating the 17-year-old high school chick. He's like, "This is he's like, I'm 44. My girlfriend's 17. He's like, "This is the first time this has ever happened where I can beat up her father." He's older than her father. But did this just cut out?
Although Woody Allen dating a 17-year-old, that's
yeah.
That's a little old for Woody, isn't it?
I don't know. He wound up dating his
daughter,
adopted
daughter. Yeah,
his adopted daughter, which is freaky and weird enough. Yeah, that's like.
It's like I'm a degenerate, but that's even too far from me.
Yeah. but it's like Polanski, if you're a part of the elite in Hollywood, all's forgiven no matter what you do. So,
and if you get lucky and you're technically caught, all you need to do is have the guy with the black book hang himself in a high security prison.
Yeah, I mean how that works. Oh wow!
Did we just lose Vince again?
It's very possible. That happens sometimes.
Yeah,
that happened last time. I am hoping that he's not gone. If we'll give him a couple minutes to come back, and if he doesn't, we can always wrap this up.
No, it happened when I was doing my show with him. He just disappeared. So I'm like, I'll take this opportunity to push Come On Man podcast program that he asked me to review, and shout out to Thor and donate to his GoFundMe.
Yeah. No, this happened again last week. His card or his internet card or something like that crapped out toward the end of the show. So, or at the end of the show, we actually got to sign out, and then it crapped out.
I was telling him, like, yeah, you might want to look into fiber, because, like, luckily I right in my area, I looked it up because I had Spectrum at first, and their charter internet, their prices were going up, and I was still in like 350 megs.
There he
speed.
is.
I got fiber for $80 a month, 1 gig up, 1 gig down. I'm like,
on my personal hotspot on my phone because my internet took shit again.
I was telling him this happened to you last week, so and he was telling me that it happened to you when you were on his show. So
it did.
I like that.
GoFundMe. Yeah. Shut up, Victibus. I'll take any money you give me. I haven't paid for internet access or a phone since 2006. So I can't complain too much. It's a perk of where I work. So, however,
internet's free.
Exactly. The Verizon MiFi card, I think I need to replace. Because I think what's happening is it's getting warm and shutting down. So something's up with the internal workings of it. It's just getting old. I need to get a new one. So I'll put in a request for a new one. But it's nice to have those extra IT perks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like we have at my employer, we have like where the clients can get rid of their e-waste. We can go through their e-waste and collect it if we want. So like one of my coworkers, he used to be a network guy, and now he's back ops, but he has his own automation and servers at home. He literally just took like a 3-year-old server and brought it home to fucking put in his rack.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, we can do that stuff too. Yeah.
Probably a couple grand worth of stuff, and he's like, I didn't pay a single dime.
Anything that's
don't sell it.
Yeah, anything else on a disposal list. Once it gets past that, there's we have a 6-week waiting period where we have to offer it up to other locations in the nation. And if they don't ask for anything, then we just destroy it. Bring a third-party company in to remove it for us. $56K dial up there, Mictobus. It's the best. Pots lines, man. It's copper. That's where it's at.
Like I said, I'm enjoying my 1 gig up and down. It's nice.
You were talking about that last time we talked. That's pretty cool. Lightning fast speeds.
Yeah, it's only $80 a month.
That's really good. I just have to bite the bullet and go screw it and do that. Especially if I'm going to stay where I'm at. So. Yeah. All right, gentlemen, we're coming up on the hour mark, and anytime we do a rogue broadcast or a fireside chat, I like to keep these at the hour mark. So, AJ, where can everyone find you if they want to tune into your stuff?
So they can find me. I have my socials listed right there in the corner. Instagram, you can hit me up at AJMK6R20. On X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, ARMatthews33. And on YouTube, you can find me at Arm Details. And then if you got any questions about detailing, I do have the armdetails33 at Gmail.
Okay, cool. Robert, how about yourself?
You can't find me.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, it's best that you don't.
Lies. I found you on X. I follow you.
Yeah, if you're smart, and most of our followers, with the exception of Mictobus, that bastard, are smart enough to find our hosts and co-hosts. So fellow masculine geeks. Well, Mictobus is a fellow masculine geek himself. So
yes, he is.
Yeah, so he's cool. What's up, Jean Simone? So, all right, what have you been doing that you come in at the end, you dirty bastard? Do we have to like extend this for another 10 minutes so we can chat with you? What are you up to? You should know by now that we broadcast every Wednesday at 9 p.m. sharp, with the exception of a few minutes here and there, but 9 p.m. Eastern sharp every Wednesday. You can watch the replay. Did I delete my Twitter account?
No, Elon Musk took care of that for him.
Yeah, the algorithm took care of that for me. You know? So if you say, all right, so the original Masculine Geek account was nuked because I said trans equals mental illness. Twitter at the time did not like that. I was immediately erased. You're gone. You're done. So I already had my Dennis Malone account from 2013. So I used that to market Masculine Geek. And last April or May, Bull Rush and I were kind of jousting back and forth, busting each other's balls. And Twitter did not like that, even though we're friends. And, well, you know the story, but some people don't. So shut up. And the Twitter said, "Nope, you're in a 12-day suspension." What? We're friends. Read the context, algorithm. You son of a bitch. Nope, we don't care. You were mean to another Twitter user, so we're gonna put you in a 12-day suspension. All right. So I'm not sure whether someone went back and reported one of my older tweets, or X at the time decided to sift through my older tweets. I had quote tweeted someone a news article that was talking about asylum-seeking refugees overwhelming other countries. So my quote tweet was, "Make either beheadings or hangings great again." That's my answer to that, and I'll stand by it. In fact, I'll pull the lever. I have no problem with that. I actually would like that job. That would give me immense satisfaction. Anyway, so that was the last straw for X. They're like, "No, this is hate speech. You're a son of a bitch. You're done. You're gone." So I did a little inventory of what I thought of X and Elon Musk and social media in general. And I said, I don't need this bullshit. I don't care enough. And some might say, well, Vince, what about marketing Masculine Geek in your books and your writing? I don't fucking care. When I was marketing my books on Twitter, no one gave a shit anyway. That's not, no. So, no. And no. So I gave up Twitter. The only social media I have right now is a locked down Instagram account, which is very highly curated. It's highly curated for what I post and highly curated for the retards, weeding out retards. So, yeah, I don't care about social media. I do not care. It's to me, it's nothing but I get it. It's a tool. And I did like it because of this. I met the majority of my Masculine Geek fellows, as it were, Robert and Rob says and TJ on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So I have nothing to say about that. But it's a tool. But it's a tool I no longer care to use. No, exactly, make this. I'm not missing anything. People know where to find me. They can sign up for the Masculine Geek newsletter, which this next newsletter, which most likely will be going out this upcoming Monday. I'm going to get back on track with at least a post a month now, maybe two. But I will be discussing some personal things as far as how I vet my own BDSM stable of women. So that may prove interesting to some people, how I do that and the manner in which I do. But as far as the newsletter and the Masculine Geek channel here, I do have another channel which I've just started, which I will probably announce next week. Robert already knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's something I have thought about for a while. I'm like, this might be fun to do, especially since I was going to do it for Punch Riot magazine in written form.
Mm-hmm.
But Punch Riot is no more. So now I figured I would do it in a video format with videos anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes, short little clips that are easily digestible. So
yeah, instead of doing Punch Riot, Nick is holding Twitter polls to find out what he should do for his new occupation.
Is that what he's doing?
I think high-end male gigolo is the one that won.
Who was that? I think I voted on that one.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
So,
yeah, Jean Simone, you had a +1 for the evening. Nice. Well, thank you for being here, nonetheless. All right, so we went through the round table where we can find everyone. Once again, next week we'll be going over the analog age that both Robert and I, and to some extent TJ, grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
Robert and I will be showing off some artifacts from the analog age from the 80s and 90s, which will be fun. So join us for that. Like I said, every Wednesday we haven't, with the exception of a few wrinkles in the road, we've been here every Wednesday from 9 p.m. Eastern. So
you gonna break out the 8-track player?
I do not have one of those, but I do. In fact, I have a VCR. I'll show one of my VCRs right here at my feet. In fact, here's a. So here's a VHS tape.
Yeah.
This is called Suburban Noise Silliness. So back in the late 90s, I had created a local magazine called, we named it with some friends, we named it Suburban Noise. And it featured local artists, people that wanted to showcase their poetry and short stories. We did cafe and bar reviews, band reviews. Bands would send us their CDs and whatnot. And that went on for 3 issues. But this is, I don't even remember what the hell we did on this, but this is a VHS tape from that era. In fact, it's I don't have the year on it, but this is probably 2000, 99 or 2000. It's either 24 or 25 years ago. So
I actually ought to look and see if any of the guys I did movies with back in like the early 1980s have transferred those 8mm and Super 8 film onto YouTube, because that would be kind of amusing.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's me getting killed by a werewolf.
Yeah.
So
you're still set up. Well, that wouldn't. You're still, as far as your alcohol, still. Is that what you're referring to? It's kind of, that could be kind of analog. We'll see. If you want to join, I'll send you the link. We can show off our analog age era accoutrements. You're a fan of Masculine Geek and always welcome.
Vince sounds like he's ready for a nap.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed early since we're not playing. I'm pretty tired. It's been a long freaking week at work and other personal stuff going on. So
yeah, I've got a dog that's missing me, so I'm gonna.
No, brandy and gin, cool.
Oh.
All right, awesome. We're gonna call it a night. But first, let me play this. Since it's at the end, let me play this real quick. Promo video.
Fundamentally, all men are geeks. Stop denying it, bastards. Some of us are tabletop role-playing game geeks. Join us for some non-SGW, non-woke, non-PC bullshit. Old-school advanced Dungeons and Dragons. At least once per month, sometimes twice, we get together with Dungeon Master Rollo Tomasi and Drew Bay for some dice slinging in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. If you're tired of the woke assholes that abound in tabletop gaming, these sniveling, overly sensitive, easily offended dipshits, then be sure to tune in to Masculine Geek D&MD. We're not politically correct. We're raw, unfiltered, and uncensored Dungeons and Dragons gamers. Get on board, pussies. We're making history. No broads allowed. Get your own game, ladies. Spurgs and tards need not apply.
That's right. Just spurs or
Last
tards.
part.
I know, right? All right, gentlemen. Enjoy your weekends, and until next Wednesday, you keep that wine flowing. Always keep that lead shooting down range, and never, ever take any wood nickels.